helicopters.
Cops flying past the windows. I thought cops were coming in.
Because I peeked out the window, and a car flies into the alley, and then 2 cop cars come.
Wait, how fast did that cop car
they almost hit the
shop?
lady coming out of the...
They came in hot. They were coming in at like 80 miles an hour into the turn. I thought it would be fun to. We have like a lot of crazy shit that happens around here, so we could just talk about some of the crazy stuff that happens around here. Some horror stories. You guys got any? Do we have any crazy horror stories?
Not horror stories. I just got crazy stories of like when we were doing walk-ins. There was a good one of there's these 2 guys that would come in, and I'd always have to take care of them, and they were junkies. And they would not, Sleepy Time Chris.
Sleepy Time Chris.
This dude would come in and nod off for like 3 hours, miss his entire haircut, and just get up and like run out. He would do that over and over. But he'd bring another guy in that would have like the craziest boil on his face.
Dude, it was the wild hair. Plus he would come up to the bathroom, and afterwards he would like wash his hair in the sink and use all the paper towels, and then all the paper towels and the hair would be on the floor.
It was crazy.
That was pretty nutty.
Once I got real with him and told him, I was like, yo, just let me know if you guys are going to nod off or something. Like, I need to know.
No, I think that was the last time they came in.
Yeah, I was like, it's cool. Like, just let me know so I know how to handle this shit.
Dude, I think the worst thing that ever happened to me, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. I'm cutting a Catholic priest's hair. So I a little bit think it was like Jesus doing some karma through barbering, possibly. So I'm cutting this guy's hair. He's got the hugest ears. And every time I try to flip them down to cut behind his ear, or I'm doing shear over comb behind his ear, the ear kept popping up. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, it almost felt like it had a hinge and it would pop back up. So I go to pull the ear down, do my shear over comb behind him, and he went to talk to me, and I cut an entire like chunk of the top of his ear off. So I'm freaking out. He's bleeding everywhere. He's like, I didn't feel anything. I'm like, that's because the scissors are pretty fucking sharp. So doesn't feel anything. I get him to the sink. I'm like trying to like triage him at the sink. And I'm like, dude, I got to take this guy to the urgent care. So I'm in the place I worked at, I had the hat on with the logo, the shirt on with the logo. Everything had a logo on it. I had to walk into the urgent care, tell the doctor that I cut his ear. He's kind of like freaking out now because it's a whole situation. The doctor looks at me and looks at him and he goes, what do you want me to do about this? Like, it's not that big of a deal. And he's like, she cut my ear off. And he's like, would you like a Band-Aid? So he puts a Band-Aid on his ear and then tells us to go home. By the time we get back in my car, which has beer cans all over it, because I'm like 20 something in a total trash bag. So I have to like move all these beer cans and joints out of the way to like get this Catholic priest in my car. By the time we get back into the car, the Band-Aid falls off into his lap, and I just look at him and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, I'm real sorry, dude. Like, dude, I go back to the barbershop to pack up all my shit.
Back on
dude, there's no chunk. I had the chunk, but I was so afraid. I think I lost the chunk.
So he just lost a part of his ear?
He looks like a fairy now. He's probably more attractive. Cuter. Also, I went to go pack up my stuff because I'm like, obviously I'm fired. But my boss was out of town, so I called him like, dude, I had to take a guy to urgent care. I cut his ear. And I was like, so I'm going to pack up my stuff and go home. I'm really sorry. Like, thanks for the opportunity. And he's like, are you kidding me? You left those 2 goons alone by themselves, the other barbers working? He's like, get back there now. You're not fired. Get back to work. I was like, sweet. So I didn't lose my job. So that's the most embarrassing story. That's the worst thing. I mean, stuff happens though, you guys. Accidents happen. It teaches you to be careful next time.
Dude, there was that time that I thought we were going to get shot up. There was, it was just me. It was when it was just me, Billy, Hess, and Nux. And I was working walk-ins, and this guy came in that was like, you know that type of guy that like couldn't be a cop, didn't get into the military, but is like about
bouncer. He has a bouncer with a chip on his shoulder.
Dude, he was a
bar
security
bouncer
guard.
with a chip.
Like came in with like a utility belt, like that had a gun holster but didn't have his gun. But he came in and he just sat and he stared at me like for like 40 minutes because he was next. Get him in the chair. I'm like, all right, man, what can I do for you? And this whole time, like, Billy's, like, clenching his butt. And he's, like, looking. Like, Billy went up and got his gun to put in a station just in case anything went south. So this guy sits down. He's like, I want a 1. I was like, you want a 1 inch? He's like, I want a 1. I was like, 1 guard? He's like, I want a 1. I was like, okay. So I think all over 1 and then taper it in nice and tight.
Obviously.
So turn him around, and then he's like, what the fuck? This is too short. He's starting to lose it. Like, Hess is screaming over. It's like, no, man, you said 1. We
all
all
heard you.
We all heard you. So he's like freaking out. He's like, no, I gotta fucking pay you. I'm like, no, you don't. Just please get up and leave. Like, don't worry. Like, you can get me next time if you want. Just like, please leave. And it was like, Billy's the whole time like pointing into his. He's like, do I need?
Pull my gun.
Do I need this?
Dude, what about the 1? What kind of 1 did he want? He wanted a 2.
1 inch.
1 inch. What a dick.
1
He
inch.
wanted you to fuck it up, so he got his 1 and he didn't have to pay.
Yeah, I asked him 1 inch and he said 1.
I promise you, people do that on purpose every great once in a while because they're like, I don't really care. I was going to shave my head anyway, so I'm going to make a scene so I get the free haircut.
But also, yeah, you're
it's
also
too
like a
obvious.
fake military grunt dork. Like,
Too
that's
obvious.
what you fucking want anyways. Like,
Ian, how about that cop chase the other day that ended right in front of the barbershop?
Dude, I mean, all I heard was helicopters.
Dude, we had
I
helicopters.
heard 2 helicopters.
Cops flying past the windows. I thought cops were
Because
coming
I peeked
in.
out the window, and a car flies into the alley, and then 2 cop cars come.
Wait, how fast
zooming
did that
in.
cop car
Dude, they almost hit the
shop?
lady coming out of the...
They came in
into the
hot.
intersection.
They were coming in at like 80 miles an hour
Dude.
into the turn.
And then they like pull up all sideways in front of the barbershop. So me and my guy like get up. He's got his cape on and we're looking out the window. And the dude just hops out of the car, takes off down the back alley, loses his shoe. We're all cheering for him.
Dude, we
Dude,
really wanted
cops
this guy
are
to get
literally
away.
like pulling up on Gravoy, like surrounding the shop. And we're all rooting for the guy. And then we peek out the window again, dude. And then they pull the kid carrier out of the car. And dude, he just ditched his kid and his lady and left him in the car.
man, that's...
Pulled the baby carrier
Dude,
out of the car.
God, dude,
it was
that,
the worst.
I love rooting for somebody, then you realize that they're a big piece of
Big
shit.
piece of shit.
There was you remember like when the BLM protests were going on?
Yeah.
There was like this dude that like had like fucking 50 people around him. He's giving the speech. It's like, it's not about this. It's not about all these minorities. You know, it's like, it's about us, the people. And then he just starts being like, we're all N-words. You're an N-word. He's just going around. It's like the whole crowd.
Oh my
just goes,
God, they're like, no.
Dude, it was like, everyone's like, yeah, this guy's awesome. And
absolutely
he just starts
not.
going on, like, just calling everyone N-words. And they're like,
Dude, he
like,
brings them in.
like,
lets
yo,
them
what
down.
is going on?
shocker,
man?
dude.
It just slowly, like, just gets worse and worse. Like,
Any
oh,
white
no.
guy protesting at the BLM
Oh,
movement
God.
is not good.
It's so
Get out of
funny.
here,
It
dude.
was
You
like-
have no business talking.
Because it was like, at that point, I really thought, like, comedy in the world was dead. It was like we had, like, Trump and then we had, like, the coronavirus. But then, like, comedy figured a way to, like, save itself and gave us that situation. I was like, dude, this is so... It was the funniest fucking
That's
thing I've ever
fucking
seen.
great. Okay, thanks for listening to our silly stories about silly stuff that happens at the barbershop. We'll be coming out with more of these probably soon. Like and subscribe to Megan the Barber STL. Thank you guys.